Good morning, and we're live. Today is Saturday, August 18th, 10:02 p.m., 10:02 a.m., excuse me. I've got a treat for you guys. We've got Mr. Shawn Fair coming on here shortly. Shawn Fair is a leadership experience tour CEO and founder. And let me tell you about this guy. This guy works with Fortune 500, 100 companies. He's a phenomenal speaker himself. And we're always bringing you value here at On Stage Plus and then on the Inside Report. And what we want to do is we wanted to bring you someone to talk about what's going on in the world right now. And not from a situational standpoint, societal standpoint, but what's going on with people and how people can actually make a difference in their lives and change their lives. As you know, we're always stressed. We're always worrying about this or that, or what do I have this or have that. And we know, of course, on social media, there's actually a phenomenon psychologists call social media overload. And what that is basically you've got people that are going on social media and they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. And even the Joneses don't even have what they say they have. So we're basically looking at how do we bring insight, information, and education. I'm actually live now. Yeah. So actually, how do we bring insight, information, and education to people? So here's Mr. Fair now. Let's just bring him in here. All right, all right. Let's get you in here. So, thank you for joining us. I
Got it.
was telling our viewing audience that I was going to be interviewing Mr. Shawn Fair and just really talking about, what it is. And I wanted to let them know, yes, you're a phenomenal speaker. You have a phenomenal organization. You put on a show twice a year called the Leadership Experience Tour that we just did in March. We're going to be doing again in September next month. But you're more than that. When it comes to actually, and once again, where we're all about it on Stage Plus and here on the Insight Report, we're more about how helping people can be better tomorrow than they were today. And how sometimes being able to get out of your own way and learning these tools and these tips to be a better person is going to help them accomplish that. A lot of times people don't know what they do. How do they get out of their own way? How do they start setting those goals and achieving those goals? And I think the Leadership Experience Tour, excuse me, is definitely something people should look at. But I wanted to talk to you today so you can kind of just give your insight into what people can do, what people should do. And even if they're not ready, they don't want to be on stage, they're not trying to be a motivational speaker, but even by tuning into the Leadership Experience Tour and getting that exposure to the phenomenal speakers that are on stage, how they can benefit and be able to use that. Because we're all here about practical keys. It's one thing to be motivated, but not being able to empower themselves to go forward and to grow. But the Leadership Experience Tour gives them that. So, and I've said enough. Please, Mr. Fair.
Well, thank you so much, David, for inviting me on the show, first of all. But to address your question, I want to expand what you just said first.
Okay.
A lot of folks think that the Leadership Experience Tour is just for speakers, it's just for coaches, and it's just not true. The Leadership Experience Tour is for anybody who's an entrepreneur, anyone who has a platform, anybody who has a business. The stage is a great way to get your messaging out. Everybody that has a business has a story. Every business was inspired in some way, shape, form, or fashion by something happening to somebody. And telling that story on stage and then explaining to people why the very thing that they have brings real value to society is a great way to market and expose themselves on a grand level. That's number
Okay.
one. Number two, there's a lot of speakers that's getting on the stage and they've had some personal challenges over the years. They've had some personal trauma over the years, and they've been able to navigate through those situations, which is the reason why they are where they are today. Very successful individuals that are doing some great things in society. And so if you're a person that's listening to the show, if you have some situations that you're going through, some challenges that you're going through, some roadblocks that you've been dealing with, listening to these speakers will give you some best practices, some strategies, some processes that you can put in place in order to become better at yourself and better in what you're trying to accomplish in life.
Okay, okay, that's great because I didn't know that. At first, I think I've seen phenomenal speakers. Of course, we've been involved with you guys for over 4 years now. Very excited every time we come there. You guys, let me tell you, when we went there are people that are going to be on stage that are speaking, but there are people that have spoken in previous leadership tour engagements, and they've flown down just to support people that are on stage. I haven't seen it anywhere else. They're coming down there encouraging. They're giving tips. Okay, this is what you do, and then when you get on stage, it's Hollywood. I mean, you got to see behind the scenes. And maybe what we'll do is we'll show you guys some of the videos behind the scenes where Shawn kind of walks through and shows the interviews they get, the exposure they get. And then, of course, he has access to tons of publications that goes without saying. But sometimes you're not ready to be in front of the camera. Sometimes you just need that knowledge and that information that you can get from someone who's walked in the shoes that you're currently walking in. Or that said, you can do it because I've done it and I've overcome it. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing, like I said, to be about it. And I mean, Shawn, this is phenomenal. Now we have the leadership tour coming up in September. Can you give us just a taste of what people will get if they can't be there in person when they're tuning in and watching it on television? What will they see?
Well, there's approximately 50 speakers flying in from all parts of the country to be a part of the show.
Okay.
Not to mention that we have two folks coming from Antigua outside the country to also get on stage. And so what happens is when you're bringing in people from all over the country, you get a very diverse message. And you get a lot of opportunities to hear different perspectives from different peoples, from different walks of life, who are in different situations, who own different platforms and different businesses. So the knowledge and the education that you get over the course of an 8 to 9 hour period of time watching the show is invaluable. And not to mention that you can watch the show for only $25, and OnStage Plus Television is streaming it live and it's up and running for a lot of time after the show is over with so that people can take advantage of that knowledge.
Absolutely. That is phenomenal. And I always say you've got to pour into yourself. And of course we know you can't pour into. You're trying to help somebody. You're trying to help your friends and family. You can't give something that was not first given to you. Here's a way to invest in yourself. And people, if you want to invest in yourself, you're not going to get it cheaper than this. This is a wealth of information. Shawn, I know you're super busy. I be calling Shawn like, hey, where you at? Oh, I'm here. I'm about to get you a flight. The man be moving. And I remember years ago I used to say, it must be fun to travel over here. It's like, Dave, it ain't fun to go to hotel to hotel. But he does it. And I love the fact he talks to people and he reaches out to people and he's authentic. This guy right here, I can definitely vouch for that. Shawn, I just want to thank you so much. Now, if you guys are interested in, not in September, that door is already closed, but interested in possibly being a speaker on the next event, there is a audition process. And it's not stressful, but they do walk you through it and they kind of see if you're ready, and if you're not, they kind of give you the tools and things you need to kind of get ready. But Shawn, when is the next audition process going to be for the next Leadership Experience Tour?
It is every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. If you go to my website, www.leadershipexperiencetour.com, you can register to audition for the next session, which is going to be this Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Now, every now and then, I'll do some individual interviews. So if you register and I'm at home and I'm totally free, I will actually just say, "Would you like to interview now?" And I'll do an interview with you as well. But just let me say this, David, is that it is not a stressful process, as you mentioned. It's really a formality for most speakers because 90% of the speakers that come to the audition are already good speakers, right? But we want to make sure though, because every now and then, Dave, we get somebody this is just not for them, right? They should choose a different profession. Speaking is just not it for them. So we want to make sure that every speaker that gets on the stage has the ability to deliver a flawless presentation. There's three things that I ask them to do when they get on stage, and that's to engage, educate, and entertain. Those are the three things that highly compensated speakers have in common. And most speakers, they only get two of them. They get the engaged, they get the education part, but the entertainment part is right out the window. And it's not good enough for you to tell a joke and no one laughs at it. Like, you got to practice this. It's very important that you do that. So over that 4 month period of time that we're all working together, we know that you're a good speaker because we brought you in. But now we develop your speaking by focusing on those three things, so that when you do get on stage, you're able to give a powerful and dynamic and engaging and entertaining message that resonates with your target audience, because that video is not just for that day. That video is going out to the general public, and if you didn't know it, you could apply for paid speaking events all day, every day long. And guess what they're going to ask you for? They're going to ask you for professional stage footage. That's one of the reasons that the Leadership Experience Tour exists.
Wow. Well, there it is. There it is. For the man himself, you guys, like I said, if you're interested in going and auditioning, you can go to leadershipexperiencetour.com. They do hold the auditions, which is great. I didn't even know they were that frequent. So you have a chance. Brush up. And then, if you don't make it this time, you can say, okay, what do I need to in selling, what I need to practice on, work on? Shawn will give you that information. You work on it, you come back until you actually make the cut and you get accepted. So I'm telling you, Shawn, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your busy day. I'm looking forward to the Leadership Experience Tour in September. You guys, if you can't be there in person, remember you can always get a ticket and you can watch it wherever you are. We're in 65 countries, 260 million global reach, and we have tens of thousands of viewers watching every day, and the viewership keeps growing. Get on board. Help yourself. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Thank you so much, Shawn, and we'll be seeing you guys soon. Bye,
All right. Thank
everyone.
you, Dave. Have a good one.